It's now been more than 6 weeks since Special Counsel Bob Mueller, the former FBI director, concluded his investigation into Russia's interference in our 2016 election and delivered his findings to the Justice Department. It's been 2 weeks since Attorney General William Barr made the 450-page report public. This investigation went on for 2 years. It's finally over. There's this outrage industrial complex that spans from Capitol press conferences to cable news. They're grieving that the national crisis they spent 2 years wishing for did not materialize. They told everyone there'd been a conspiracy between Russia and the Trump campaign. Yet on this central question, the special counsel's finding is clear. Case closed. Case closed. This ought to be good news for everyone. But my Democratic colleagues seem to be publicly working through the 5 stages of grief. First stage is denial. Well, Madam President, the last stage of grief is acceptance. For the country's sake, I hope my Democratic friends can get there sometime soon.
Without objection.
So, Madam President, I've just listened to my friend, the Majority Leader, engage in an astounding bit of whitewashing. Not unexpected, but entirely unconvincing. Yes, the Mueller investigation took 2 years. And yes, it produced a stunning document in the end. Not only a damning appraisal of our election security and just how willing a major presidential campaign was to accept and amplify the disinformation of a foreign adversary, but also through an examination of the behavior of a lawless president who at least on 11 occasions, according to the report, may have obstructed a federal investigation. So while my friend, the Majority Leader, wants to say case closed, I don't blame him. 375 former federal prosecutors looked at the Mueller report and said publicly that the conduct of the president amounts to felony obstruction of justice. And that, in any other case, were he not president, those prosecutors would recommend bringing charges. So our leader says, let's move on. It's sort of like Richard Nixon saying, let's move on, at the height of the investigation of his wrongdoing. Of course he wants to move on. He wants to cover up. He wants to silence on one of the most serious issues we face, whether a foreign power can manipulate our elections, the wellspring of our democracy. He doesn't want to move on. He wants to run away from these awful facts that relate to the wellspring of our democracy: foreign interference in our election and a president who is lawless.